Right, so Chaos Destruction in Unreal. It's a destruction system inside Unreal Engine to simulate destructions in the game. So, in this video series, you will learn how to use Chaos and how you can use it to destroy objects in your game, which is something that looks really nice. But before we go into details, we need to understand some theory behind destructions. Because destruction is not only used like in real time, it's commonly used in VFX and films, and these methods are universally accepted. And this is what you will usually do in Houdini or any other 3D modeling application where you can simulate destruction. So if you want to use Houdini or Chaos in Unreal, the same principles apply. However, we want to focus in Unreal because 1. You can see it inside the game how it looks like. 2. It's optimized for games, which is what we want. So how it looks like. So let's take a look at this one. First we need an object here. Let's say this is our castle. And how destruction works is that you need to divide your mesh into several pieces. How you divide this mesh is entirely up to you. But the most commonly method to divide these pieces is using the Voronoi, which is kind of like polygonal separation between the pieces. Of course, it will be in 3D, but we're using 2D now. So what you will do first is select which pieces you're going to destroy and how it would look like when you destroy them. This is the most important aspect of any destruction because it will affect the look of your destruction and how it looks like. So once you have your object, the next thing you need to do is to create a Voronoi. And to do that, you need to create a Voronoi. And we will do that later in Unreal, but you will have all these pieces that are inside the mesh that you cannot see because it's seamless. So once you decide which parts you want to destroy, then this is how it looks like when you separate these pieces from this part. So when you destroy your object, this will be the pieces. And the number of pieces are important because it affects the performance of your games. For games, we usually have a very small number of pieces. For the very small ones, we may want to use some particle systems like Niagara to simulate really small pieces of destruction. So for this one, we will use the big pieces. So this is what it looks like. You select your mesh, you divide the Voronoi, and you will have your pieces. And when you destroy, you will have these pieces. However, there is something wrong with this approach. While it's okay for some things, when you want to make it look really nice, you want to do something else. And what we can do is subdivide these meshes into other destruction inside destruction. Let's say a Voronoi inside a Voronoi. So what you have here is a Voronoi inside a Voronoi, just like this one. So you have our original mesh here divided, but also you can decide if you want smaller pieces. You can check, okay, this part will have smaller pieces and this part will have smaller pieces. So what you will end up is something like this. You have your big pieces here, and then you will have these pieces that will also be divided into smaller pieces, and this one will be divided into even smaller pieces. So that's basically how destruction works. And we're gonna go into Unreal next, where we can show how this thing works inside the engine. But this is the basic theory behind the destruction. Of course, there are other things such as constraints and when to decide which parts to destroy and which parts not to destroy, and which parts fall first, and how forces interact with these objects. But we will look at those later when we go inside the engine. But for now, this is the basic theory. You have an object, you cut the object into several parts, how many you want, and then if you want, you can cut this object into smaller pieces, and this will define the destruction of your object when the simulation option is on. So that's the basic theory behind destruction. And in the next videos, we're gonna go through chaos, on how to get chaos and how to apply destruction in your objects, and how to create these Voronoi pieces inside the engine. So you can take a look at the destruction in your game very easily. So if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, let us know in the comments which kind of video you would like to watch next. And if you are making a game and you need some help, check the links in the description to get some help. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.